Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Drew Estate Studio. With me today is Jiunn, Lou, Seth, guys, John McTavish. How you guys doing?
Good, man.
Good.
Splendid.
Fantastic.
All right. So tonight we're talking about the Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust Stillwell Star Aromatic #1. Cigar is a Toro, 6-inch by 52. Comes out of the Hoyt, Nicaragua factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper's Ecuadorian Habano. Binder is Mexican San Andres Negro. Filler is from Nicaragua. Also Black Cavendish, Golden Virginia, and Burley. Blended by Steve Saka. Price point is $15.30. And the cigar was released in November of 2021. So with all that out of the way, Jiunn, what was your overall experience like with this cigar?
So, like I was saying, you guys, before we went live on this video, that I don't know anything about pipe tobacco. I don't know the different blends or what you're supposed to get out of them. So when like Saka says like this is the aromatic #1, I don't know what that means. I don't know what Navy means. I don't know what those other brands mean. So to a certain extent, I'm basically going through these blind, which is a good thing actually. Okay. So with that said, this cigar felt like a clash of two worlds that doesn't mix together very well at all. So like it's really funky. I'm getting some like very untraditional cigar flavors, right? Like nougat, caramel, rum, like vanilla, like really wild stuff, right? But it's compounded by this like super cedar wood bitterness that completely like engulfs your palate, like full tannins of it, very dry. Um, it didn't mix. So the whole time you're smoking it, the whole time I'm smoking, I'm thinking, I'd rather just like smoke the actual, pipe tobacco leaf and the actual cigar separately. Is the thought that I mainly had.
Sure. I can understand that. All right, Seth, what were your thoughts?
First of all, like, put up the cigar again, please. Listen, Saka really knows how to pick out really fucking pretty wrapper leaf.
Yeah,
I will give him credit for that. Because every time his wrappers, like even with this and like Todos Los Dias, just absolutely beautiful, and it's got these little sparkles on it.
Was the wrapper on this again?
Just Ecuadorian Habano, but it's like and that's not even, listen, the cigar, that's a good photo of the cigar, but I can tell you in hand, the cigar is a lot prettier than that. At least I thought it was. And also the aroma on the cigar actually just like brought me back to like childhood. Ooh. So I will give that to Saka. My dad was a pipe smoker, so this, and it also had like this Tokaji, which is like this Hungarian Palinka brandy kind of a thing. It had this aroma, so it had like this cherry tobacco rich earth. It's just, God, it fucking reminded me of my childhood.
Smells amazing,
and it just was awesome. First third, the rest of the cigar though actually just kind of smoked. It was just kind of like a conflict. I was getting like rich earth, dirt, like cherry, stone fruit, sweet spice, and mineral notes, but it had like, if you smoked a pipe before, it had all those like pipe qualities while almost smoking like a cigar, but it just never, it was very overpowering. And it just kind of was consistent, never changed throughout, which kind of just made it, you got tired of it for a while. Medium in strength and body. It smoked for a long time. John?
Yeah. So I mean, my stepdad smoked pipe too. So nosing the foot, I was like, oh yeah, these are some great aromas. Vanilla cherry, tobacco combination. And I actually thought the first third was interesting. I thought, it did highlight a little bit some of the some of the pipe tobacco, but it's tough, man. I don't know how you marry the two, because like Jiunn, I think you're the one that said like it just kind of felt like the two were fighting. Like there's this tannic wood, and the wood just seemed like it was fighting against the vanilla and cherry from the pipe tobacco, and then there was sweet tobacco, which didn't really marry with the wood, and then there was black pepper, and I'm kind of all over the place. Like it was interesting. It was an interesting combination, but I found myself going like, I really wish that the pipe tobacco was more prominent rather than the cigar tobacco. Second, third, and last third for me were pretty just is like wood and pipe tobacco. And because it didn't really live in one world or the other, I felt like, it was pretty average, interesting, but average. And I had some burn problems, which, it's probably really a pain in the ass to make pipe tobacco burn properly. So I'm sure that's a part of it. Draw was perfect, but I had like a relight and a touch up, so kind of a bit of a drag. What are you gonna do? It's an interesting project. Aaron, what about you?
Yeah, for me, the cigar started with spicy wood and an undertone of the pipe tobacco cherry sweetness, a powder component and some mustiness joined a bit later. Second, third saw the sweetness depart and the profile became fairly dry. Final third saw a heavy toast note and light bitterness join. I thought the cigar was pretty average for the first 2/3 and saw a drop in the final third with the heavy toast and the bitterness. I don't know that there was anyone more excited about this cigar when it was announced than me. But I love the aromas and the flavors of pipe tobacco. I just struggle with smoking a pipe. So when I heard about this, I was like super excited about it. But it just didn't translate into the smoking experience. I'll talk about some more of this in the final thoughts, but the cigar itself just didn't deliver that much of a unique experience. It didn't give me enough of that pipe tobacco flavor that I was looking for. So I don't really see coming back to this particular blend. We'll see about the other blends in the series. Looking forward to getting through all those, but it just wasn't enough there for me here. Getting the scores top with Jiunn at 5.75. John was next at 5.70. Seth gave it a 5.25. I gave it a 5.15. So Jiunn, how that 5.75 match up for you?
Matches up pretty well. It's average, tasting in general. Not sure if let's talk about this. So after I smoked this and I reviewed it, I was curious what Saka thought about this and what his approach was behind this particular, Stillwell. So I figured, I don't know, I don't talk to Saka. So I went to Dunbarton's web page and I pulled up if he had any tasting notes. He actually does. So the tasting notes, so let me just recap what it says. Finest of, and then he named all the various pipe tobaccos, added to a mild Nika Puro to provide a delightfully smooth and exceptionally room-pleasing note, making it not only a joy for the smoker, but those around them. Each cigar is delicately finished with a cabeza dolce. I completely disagree with the tasting notes that he wrote. I mean, he didn't give a lot of context in this tasting note, but it's supposed to be smooth, room pleasing. Sure, I can see that. I mean, it's pipe tobacco, right? But it is not smooth at all. So very interesting to read that. And because after I read that, I was like, man, that's completely not what I got. So if that was his approach, it's not what I got at all. Anyways.
All right, John, 5.7.
It matches up well. Obviously the score is in the average, but I'd rather smoke if someone's going to try and do something new with cigars, I'd rather smoke this than something with CBD or something infused because it's tobacco. That said, I think for me, it ironically didn't have enough pipe tobacco. So, I'd like to smoke one, whether it's one of the other Stillwells or whether it's just in a different size where that pipe tobacco plays a more prominent role, because that would be more interesting for me.
All right, Seth, 5.25.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I think I said this with all of them. It's just the cigars are way too big. I think they should have made it more of a petite Corona, and really, so you're just kind of getting a condensed experience that's not going to get exhausting. And I think you're also going to pick up more from the tobacco in it than just having this massive 6x52 or 6, whatever it is.
Yeah,
it's gotta be burned though, right? Like I assume the problem is when you put multiple pipe tobaccos in a smaller ring gauge, it's got to be a real bugger to make that burn properly.
Oh, that's probably why he had to do it this way. I bet.
Yeah, my 5.1. Oh, go ahead.
No,
I
no, no,
went
you
all five
go.
matches as well. I mean, it was below average flavor profile. I mean, it had really good construction, but yeah, it just, I don't know. Let's go straight into the final thoughts. Like, for most times when somebody is trying to do something unique with the flavor profile, I'll say aside from fire cured, I want to be hit over the head with it.
Yeah.
You know, that's the experience I want. Fire cured, that's not what I want, because that's just, that will 3 draws will kill you. And then you're like, all right, my tongue's done. I got to go do something else. Can't smoke a cigar for 3 days, whatever. But when you give me something that's infused, or even like, I'll reference like the Hammer and Sickle Kalanok, which was like
Right.
the peat fired one. Like when they first came out, I want to say it was like, I don't remember, it was like 20, 25%. Yeah, it was like 20, 25%.
Too light.
Yeah, it was just too light. And then when they got to the higher ends, they had a problem getting to burn, so that they couldn't go too far. So, but with this, like I wanted this to be so good. And it just wasn't enough of it. And that John saw when we talked to Sokka at TP in Vegas, I asked him, I said, is this something that you could make a smaller ring gauge? We didn't really get to talk too much into detail, so he couldn't say why, you know, this was the format, other than that, just kind of what he chose. But it may be true that if you get smaller ring gauge, you're not going to be able to get it to burn properly or whatever it is. But somehow I want more of the pipe tobacco flavor. And I don't know if that's doable in something that will actually burn. I know I'm probably in the minority where I'll say like it can burn funky if you're delivering that flavor. But there's going to be people that if it doesn't, flavor is secondary to them in regards to having something that's just going to, you know, be effortless for them to smoke. But I would happily relight 5 times if you were bombarding me with pipe tobacco. So I would say that, but I'm probably in the minority in saying that. So any other thoughts?
I mean, you summed up my position. I think we're on the same page. I feel the same way when we talk about pumpkin beers. Is that like the worst pumpkin beer for me is the pumpkin beer where you can barely taste the pumpkin. It's like I want it. If it's the prominent component of what you're delivering, punch me in the face with it. Don't walk around the pool. Jump in the pool. Do a cannonball in the deep end. Hit me with it. But you know, we're not running a cigar company, so what do we know?
I mean, if the issue is really burn issue with using too much pipe tobacco and make it a smaller ring gauge, let's say, to highlight more of that pipe tobacco, then I will absolutely agree with it. I don't mind struggling with the burn. I want the intent of what these aromatic is supposed to be like when paired with traditional cigar notes, which I assume that's what he's going for, because then then don't make it into a cigar, right?
Right.
So it needs to meet in the middle between both worlds. If it doesn't, then it's a failed attempt.
Yeah, and I'm a little curious on the lifespan of these cigars in regards to the longer they age, if they lose some of the potency of the pipe tobacco, because typically with pipe tobacco, you have it in a sealed jar, right? You can't lose any of that humidity. You can't lose any of that. You don't want to lose any of that aroma and stuff like that. So I don't know if that plays into that at all. So I don't know if you get
Enter
one.
our Bovida concept.
There you go.
Aren't these? I mean, this is short filler tobacco, though, right? I mean, the pipe tobacco it's got to be short filler, right?
I don't know. I don't know for sure on how that works, but
and I'm not criticizing if it is.
Yeah, combustion wise.
Yeah, because I wondered if it is.
Pipe tobacco is so wet.
I know, but I wondered if you dried out pipe tobacco a little bit when you go to roll with it. I wonder if you could if that would affect the combustion. I don't know if that could help.
I tell you what, it'd be a pretty cool thing to see rolled in the factory.
I'd be curious. I'd be curious how it came about.
Did these come out of Hoya?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Dope. That'd be pretty cool to see then.
Yeah.
They've got the skill set to be able to do this stuff.
Yeah. They employ some good people.
So yeah, I'll say pre-light aroma, spot on. These fantastic. Like you can't pay anything negative about
gotta
cigars.
Taste like it smells. It's gotta taste like it smells.
That's always the issue with these. Every single one of them that we've had.
Yeah.
All right. If you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. But also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Follow us on the social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts. So iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Stillwell Star.